Welcome to my Week 9 NFL game predictions and betting locks. And after an eventful week, last having football on Monday seems like eons ago at this point. Finally have another week, getting to the halfway point in the season, past the trade deadline, no major moves made. But first on the show, we got to recap a lackluster Week 8. And quite simply put, this was terrible. I mean, not many people had it right, but we did not do well. So first, the recap of the Thursday night game. I had Panthers minus 2.5 against the Falcons, and there was inclement weather in this game. I thought the Panthers would be able to run the ball on the Falcons, but that just wasn't the case. Panthers got out to an early lead, I think 14-6, but were not able to maintain that lead. Matt Ryan actually had a great day through the air. Todd Gurley, I think, a touchdown on the ground, and the Falcons offense really got it going in the late second quarter and second half. They ended up winning 25-17. Teddy Bridgewater did not look great in the second half, and I'll eat that one. Wasn't the greatest prediction. I wasn't very confident in that one. Next game, we have the Rams and Dolphins, which I was decently confident in, and the Rams really blew it in the second quarter. This game was 7-0 for most of the first quarter, going well, and they really self-destructed. It was 28-7 after the second quarter, and Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa, I didn't predict that he'd play that well against this Rams defense. He really didn't. It was just the special teams and defense, and really Jared Goff blew this game for the Rams in that second quarter. So do not get that one to go. And then finally, the saving grace was the Colts minus 3 against the Dolphins. This one exactly like I thought. The Lions are not as good as that 3-3 record indicated coming into the game. The Colts were off the bye week. Phillip Rivers did not throw away the game, and the Colts defense does enough. And Phillip Rivers and that Colts offense did enough to win, and by a solid margin. So, as I mentioned, the game predictions were not good. It was by far my worst week of the season. 7-7. Gotta be better than that. I think we'll be better than that for this week. But regardless, it's still an impressive overall record of 82-36. And then for betting locks, once again, we were at 500 on the year. Have not been able to get above 500 on the year so far. Maybe we can do that today. I have 4 betting locks set up, but we went 1-2 as I just outlined, and we are 12-13-2 on the year. So now, into the Week 9 action. Thursday Night Football, I'm going to be taking the Packers over the 49ers. And this game about to start, but don't be fooled, it hasn't started yet, even though there's a 0-0 on the screen. Currently, I think the 49ers, I picked them in every game this season, but in this one, they were already very injured coming into the game. No Jimmy Garoppolo, and Nick Mullins in his last time out didn't look good. We don't know who we're going to get. I suspect it's Nick Mullins, but maybe C.J. Beathard. And then it seemed like I wasn't going to pick the Niners coming up because of all of the injuries. George Kittle likely out for the season. Deebo Samuel still not in. JaMychal Hasty seems like their only running back coming into this one. Short week. And then you have the COVID-19 outbreak within the team in the last few days. Trent Williams, Kendrick Bourne among those not playing. And the Packers, I think they're going to have their guard up in this one because they just blew one last week against the Vikings, a very bad loss at home. I think they'll win this one, but again, it's these Thursday Night Football matchups. You really don't know. 49ers dominated the Packers last year at home, so we'll see about it. I'll take the Packers. Next game, first best bet of the week. I'm going to be taking the football team minus 2.5 points against the Giants. And really, the Giants let one go against the Bucs on that Monday night game, and that's really a win that they needed to have. This division is still within reach, but I just think that they may have given up on this season at 1-7. Whereas the football team, they're resurging. They obviously lost last time out against the Giants by 1 point. I think they went for 2 at the end of the game. They're off of a bye. They won their last time out, impressive against the Cowboys. So when it's all said and done, I'm going to be taking the football team to win by at least 3 points. Kyle Allen, another week to practice with this team. So give me the football team there. Next game, we have the Bears and the Titans, 2 teams that are reeling after losing their last 2, but give me the more talented team and the Tennessee Titans. I think we'll get a strong dose of Derrick Henry. Definitely going to be a low-scoring affair in this one, but I just don't trust the Bears' offense as much as I trust the Titans' offense, so give me the Titans in that one. Next game, we have the Lions and the Vikings in an NFC North battle in which I think the loser is out of playoff contention. I mean, an argument could be made that both teams are already out at this point, but the Vikings looked very solid last week. I mean, their defense didn't do much in the first half against Aaron Rodgers, but when they needed to get stops in the second half, they did get them against that Packers offense. And Dalvin Cook and the Vikings offense is really the reason that they won that game. And I think that bodes to a Vikings victory in this one. Next game, we have the Panthers at the Chiefs. And this one might not be as lopsided as we think it is, but maybe. I mean, it all depends. Panthers get Christian McCaffrey. They're going to have a few extra days to prepare after that Thursday night loss against the Falcons. But regardless, the Chiefs, I mean, they made it look easy last week against the Jets. Exactly what we expected coming into that one. I think the margin was about 30 points that they won by. This one might not be as much, but I think still it's going to be at least a 2-possession win for the Chiefs. On to the second best bet of the week. I'm going to be taking the Texans -7, a team that's on a bye, or going off of a bye at 1-6. Their only win this year was against the Jaguars, and the Jaguars, that was a very ugly loss. And another reason for this pick is that the Jaguars will be starting Jake Luton. They do not have Gardner Minshew in this one. It looks increasingly like the Jags have given up on the season, whereas the Texans have gotten a few bad breaks. I just don't think that their defense is very talented. Obviously, they gave away some pieces on their offense before the start of the season. But when it's all said and done, give me Deshaun Watson and this Texans offense to win this game by more than 7 points. Really have no faith in the Jaguars. And when they played earlier this season, it was a wider margin than 7. And then my easiest best bet to make this week is the Ravens -2 against the Colts. I really think that I try to take the Ravens whenever I can, especially off of a loss. I think I took them earlier this year and they bounced back. And going against the Colts here, who have had some COVID-19 issues, the Colts, whenever they play a great team, it doesn't go very well. I mean, you saw what happened when they went against the Browns running game, and the Ravens running game is one of the best in the league. They'll run it on anybody. They actually had a lot of yards on the ground. That's how they had their success. The problem was when Lamar was actually throwing the ball, making mistakes, that the Ravens lost that game. I think they're going to strongly bounce back, whereas the Colts at 5-2 may have an inflated record. So give me the Ravens, and I'm only taking 2 points. I think that's the easiest best bet of the week. And then the final and fourth best bet, it's my fourth favorite that I'm taking. I will be taking the Seahawks -3 against the Bills. The Seahawks with Pete Carroll are great historically in this 10 o'clock body clock window, whereas the Bills, whenever they've played a good team so far this year, I mean, nationally televised game against the Titans, got blown out, didn't go well against the Chiefs, nationally televised game. So in these big games against the great teams, Seahawks looked great last week against the 49ers. So I think they're going to get it done here against the Bills. It's that field goal margin, so I feel comfortable taking the Seahawks here. Russell Wilson will dial it up for another great day. Next game, we have the Falcons and the Broncos, and Broncos really got away with one last week. It's really because the Chargers are the Falcons of the AFC. Maybe the Falcons are going to blow the lead, but I just don't think so. Falcons playing great under Raheem Morris, their new interim head coach, and I see their offense dialed in this far in the season, whereas the Broncos really got it going and got lucky to win that one. Broncos defense is not playing well. I think that the Falcons will dominate possession in this one and end up winning the game. Next game, we have the Raiders at the Chargers, And I've got to take the Raiders here. It's going to be very close. I think the spread of this one is about a pick 'em, but the Ravens looked very impressive last week against the Browns. At the Browns, they limited the Browns' offense to 6 points, and that was one of the concerns with this Raiders team, was that defense. They indeed got it done. The Chargers, man, as I already mentioned, they blew the lead last week. You cannot trust this team to win games when they're blowing leads like that. Justin Herbert looks very good in the passing game, but that Chargers running game just does not look very impressive. I think the Raiders can sell out to stop Justin Herbert, and that would be enough. Derek Carr and Josh Jacobs, heavy dose of the running game, should get them to win the game. Next game, we have the Steelers at the Cowboys. Spread of this one is 14 points, and I'm going to be taking the Steelers. No reason to pick the Cowboys here. I'm not even sure who their starting quarterback is. It's on to like a 4th or 5th string at this point. Not even Ben DiNucci will be starting in this game. So I'm going to be taking the Steelers big. They looked very impressive against the Ravens and would not shock me if they ran up the score at the Cowboys in this one. Next game, we have two very promising young quarterbacks in Kyler Murray and Tua Tagovailoa. Both wear the number 1, and I'm going to be taking the Cardinals here. Cardinals are a very good team this season off of a bye. They looked very impressive in their last bout against the Seahawks. The Dolphins, as I already mentioned, their last game against the Rams, they got very fortunate that the Rams basically handed them that game in the second quarter. This is not going to happen with the Cardinals team off of a bye. Give me the Cardinals to win this one with a strong day by Kyler Murray on the offensive side. Next game is a bit of an upset. I think this one is the best game of the week. I'm going to be taking the Saints over the Buccaneers. I'm not very confident in this one, but the Saints got them in the first week of the season, and I feel like this one is an upset game. The Bucs are on a short week, and it's Drew Brees versus Tom Brady. Saints really had it. Saints really had them in that first game of the season. Now it could be argued that the Bucs have gotten their offense in line. At this point, they are getting Antonio Brown in this one. But when it comes down to it, it's going to be a very close game. But I'm going to favor the more experienced team on Sunday Night Football. Regardless, going to be a great game to watch. Next game and last game is a Monday Night Football game that is not very good on paper, as we have the 2-5 Patriots. I am going to say will beat the 0-8 Jets. I just don't see the Jets getting a win here. Even though the Patriots have a 4-game losing streak, I think there's no way that they will lose this game. Bill Belichick-led team will never lose to this bad of a Jets team. Cam Newton, I think, will bounce back. He actually had a pretty good game last week. It was just that fumble at the end of the game that really hurt the Patriots in that one. So give me the Patriots here. Now, it could be that it's just an ugly game. In general, low-scoring dogfight. But regardless, give me the Patriots to win this one. And thank you for watching.